What's happening, my friends? John and Paul of Warrior Poet Society, and today we're talking about 3 different battle belt or war belt options.
Yeah, guys, you'll notice that John is dressed like a commando, LARPing as hard as he wants to out here, and I'm just kind of dressed casual in jeans and a hoodie and a hat. John is representing one type of context, I'm representing another.
Really, the spirit of this video is so that you can get the cool kit without spending a bunch of money on something that doesn't really match your context. So the idea is save money by avoiding buying stupid stuff that you don't need. What is your context, and let your context drive your buy. Let's look at the belts. Here we go. All right, so this is more of my older setup. Great setup. It's got the Cobra buckle and a little D-ring attachment for snap links, and it relies on an inner belt liner. My new hotness here, this is John's war belt combo here. This has got this cool ratcheting system here. Listen to this. Oh, so cool. And it's got an inner belt liner, or you can lace through so it's going to stay in place better than with a grip pad. Third option here, this is Paul's belt. You notice he's got the quick on grippy inside. He's got a quick draw holster, and he's built more for quick draw competition, whereas I've got more recessed mags here. As a final bonus, we'll really quickly just look at everyday carry options, but that's not war belt, but why not give you a bonus? All right, guys, before we get to the new hotness, Paul, this is the older war belt setup that we have used in the past. Tell me, what is better about this than the new hotness that we're wearing now?
So right off the bat, the Cobra buckle. I don't want a quick release ratcheting system, plus you've got a way that you can snap in. If you're working off a platform like a helicopter or something like that, doing helo operations, this is something that I would trust versus the fast, the quick release ratcheting attachment on our new belts.
Right, so if you're part of a tactical team and you may be getting in fixed wing or rotary aircraft, being able to snap in is a really good idea. And so something like a Cobra buckle with this right here, this is our double molly belt rig. Really, really great setup. And it's got all the accessories on it we like. There's our med kit, the tourniquet pouch that goes on top of it, our deeper recessed pouches right here. And this is because you're in this kind of context, what you don't want to be doing is IMTing across a battlefield. Then you go to grab your stuff and you've yard sailed it back like breadcrumb trail of tactical equipment. And so you've got all these fast draw holsters. That's a really bad idea. So you'll notice in my setup, built more like a warfighter, you don't want fast draw competition style holsters. You want something that provides the magazines with more protection. And so you'll see that on my new hotness battle belt setup here, but you'll also see it maintained on the old of the context I'm preparing for is more of that war fighter.
If I were doing hood right gangster stuff again, I'd want to do
that's
I'd go with the Cobra buckle, absolutely.
I interrupt this video to give you classic Immortal Wisdom from the fictitious fighter Apollo Creed.
Stay in school and use your brain. Be a thinker, not a stinker.
Guys, we're fighters, but we don't want to just be stinkers, we want to be thinkers. To that end, this video is sponsored by Hillsdale College. Warrior Poets were all about education. Let's be warrior scholars. Hillsdale College offers over 40 different online courses that are available to you absolutely free. Right now, I got my eye on a communism Marxism class that does a deep dive into understanding those ideologies and the pernicious spread of it throughout different cultures. And though you can vote yourself into socialism, you have to wear this stuff to get out of it. Guys, get your learn on. Go to hillsdale.edu/WPS to enroll. Here it is. We wrote it for you, hillsdale.edu/WPS. There you go. If you can't read it, it's because of communism. That's enough. To the video, hillsdale.edu/WPS to enroll. All right, now this is John's new war belt combo. And so this is the ratcheting system here. You notice there's a little button here, and if I just push that up, it slides free. There's the kind of ratcheting pieces right there. And so now what I can do is just very, very quickly, I'm ready to go. So I love the ratcheting system, being able to get it on and off real quickly and go over the top of clothes. I really like that a lot. Though I will say if I'm moving around a lot, hitting the deck, kind of crawling and jumping in and out of vehicles, this belt, even with this good grip pad, it starts moving a bit. So really in this kind of context, I'd want to take inner belt liner off. And instead, I'm going to mount it to this inner liner. This comes with the belt. Here, come in real close. Now, you'll notice this kind of webbing right here. As I tighten down my belt, this mesh piece right here kind of will bunch up, but lay flat. So that I don't have to tighten this down excessively when I'm not wearing the belt. And if you do a lot of stuff in war belts, this is a really cool thing. And now that belt mounted firmly on the inner belt that's run through belt loops, that's going nowhere. Now, the thing that really doesn't match my context here is this holster. Paul, what do you think of my overall setup and this holster?
Yeah, so this one sticks out a little bit, right? Because this is a speed cut competition style holster, so not exactly, doesn't exactly go with the rest of your bat suit here.
One of these things is not like the other. And so what we would recommend, what other options do we have here?
Yeah, so we want to go for something like this, guys, something that offers a little more retention. This is a duty rated holster, right, versus a competition style holster. This is something that kind of matches more what you got going on here.
And what do you mean duty?
Duty mean you've got, this is a level 2 holster, I believe. So this guy has at least 2 levels of retention. You get passive retention, then you have 1 active retention device that has to be activated in order to get the pistol out. You've got a shroud here that's going to cover your optics and protect your stuff.
The whole idea is that you're not losing your stuff. This really needs a piece of retention to it. Now let's move to Paul's belt. Paul, you're not running around, hitting the deck, crawling and stuff. And so for the purposes of what you're doing on the range or competition and stuff, how do you like using this gel pad?
So this High Speed Gear International belt pad that I've got here, what this does, it keeps you from having to keep this belt married up to an inner belt that goes through your belt loops. I like being able to just go quick on and off. I really have always hated having to marry up to an inner belt because then you got to tuck in your shirt, you throw on a rain jacket, you throw on a hoodie, then all of a sudden you've got to tuck that in too, and just I'm not a big fan. I like things to be convenient, especially for range work. The setup that I've got here isn't this isn't quite a it's not quite a warfighter belt, but it's not also quite a competition belt. I've kind of just set this up to make it absolutely convenient for me teaching on the range, which is a lot of what I do these days throughout the year. So you know, regardless of you know, what type of climate, what type of environment that I'm working in, I want to be able to just pop this thing off, sling it around my jacket. The belt pad is sticky, grippy. It's not going to go anywhere. So I like being able to do this. Also, I've got some competition style mag carriers here. So not a huge level of retention protection for the magazines, but great for range work. Same thing with the holster, just a passive retention kind of competition style holster. But then it's not quite, like I said, a competition setup, but it's not also quite a duty setup either. It's kind of somewhere in the middle for me.
Right. So this is basically how we package Paul's war belt combo versus mine. I want you to pay attention to something different in context. From inside of my hips, there's nothing here. I don't want anything here. If I'm able to strip body armor, or even if I don't, if I'm shooting in the prone, I want to get really, really low or crawl or something like that, I don't want anything right here. Also, if you're climbing up a mountain, having to lift your leg up high to take a step, you're having to lift up this, and this is going to wear holes in the top of your legs coming like that. So you really don't like this for climbing mountains, for running around, for crawling or anything like that. I want to lay flat and low. And so you'll notice for kind of war fighting context, I don't have anything here. It's also why I like kind of my more multi-curve plates, and I want my carrier to be tighter in. However, when I'm shooting in the prone, I want my hips real low, and when I come up to shoot, this is dead space any way that would be kind of off the ground. So it's really this which causes my butt to lift off more, and I can't really scorpion up more to shoot in the prone, and so it is important to keep this more clean. So let's return back through, show us some other options here, because here I've got more of deeper retention.
Sure.
What about these guys right here?
So with the Blade Tech, with the tech mount system here, these are, you know, easy on, easy off. Also adjustable cant, right? So depending on where you're running these, kind of what your preference is, how close to center line of body you are, I can adjust the cant on this, and it locks in. I think it's every 10 degrees or something like that. So as we get kind of more toward the center line of the body up front, then I want a more drastic cant. As I get more toward the hip bone, then I'm going to have a more neutral cant on these.
That's
right?
great.
And also same thing with the holster. You've got adjustable cant on the holster here, so you can set this up for, you know, kind of maximizing efficiency in your draw process, establishing your grip. That's kind of the whole point of the adjustable cant on this as well. And again, going back to being able to use the same belt setup with multiple firearms, all I have to do is have a different holster with the the tech mount option, and then I can just boom. I can switch out guns anytime I want to.
Right. On all the war belts, hey, can you go ahead and spin around?
Sure.
Here's our Warrior Poet medical kit. The tourniquet should mount on top, not below like some med kits do, so you're not sitting on your tourniquet and crushing it. The scissors is the pull tab here, and so you're able to grab that, access your trauma shears, and then open this up and be able to access it. Being able to have a medical kit that you can grab behind you and then pull out in front of you so that you can work on stuff, it's a big deal. So you're not fishing and digging blindly behind you. You'll also notice over here, Paul has a dump pouch. I have it on all my stuff too. You're able to pull down and you can put magazines or water bottles or whatever you want in this dump pouch. And so we really love this.
So hey guys, before we move on from this belt setup, I want to give you a quick pro tip. This is just something that I do personally to kind of customize my setup to make it work for me. If you're using the Blade Tech Lock attachments, what you're going to have, if you're trying to marry those up with an inner belt pad, what you get is not a lot of real estate sometimes for the belt pad to stick to your Tech Lock, right? So soft pad Velcro, right? The pile side doesn't stick to this, believe it or not. So what I do just to kind of customize this a little bit, make it work for me, is I add some sticky Velcro to my Tech Lock attachments so that I don't have that problem. I've got plenty of real estate for that belt pad to stick to, and it's good to go.
Now for my war belt context, I don't have that because it's mounting to the actual MOLLE lining. Now here's your bonus. This is the belt I wear every single day. This is our Supreme Appendix belt, and you'll notice it's super rigid. Some people, they get the right gun, and then they may even get the right holster. However, that right holster kind of flops it over because they don't have a good foundation. The belt is the hack of concealability and comfort. This belt also has that ratcheting system here, so you're able to tighten stuff down and then loosen it really, really quickly. I use this all the time. When I sit down and I'm feeling fat and happy, I'll push that button even through my shirt. Nobody even knows I do it. And I just kind of get a couple inches there and allow that holster to breathe so it's not pushing up into my guts and making me uncomfortable when I drive or go anywhere else. But then when I stand up and I'm wearing a t-shirt and I want good concealment, I just basically hold the buckle and do this through my shirt and I go zip and tighten it down. Now, Paul, which everyday carry holster are you usually doing?
This Blade Tech holster, this is the one that I've been carrying lately, guys. Probably for about a year now I've been running this. Pretty quick, easy, on, off, pretty simple setup. No spare magazine carry or anything, but even with a less rigid belt than the EDC belt that you've got, that you like to rock, this thing stays pretty stable, doesn't move around a whole lot. So I kind of dig this just for simplicity, quick on and off stuff.
I like this option, but what I like even better, and this is more of like a stripped down option, is this holster. Guys, all the stuff, all the holsters and belts is all on our website, so just check below the video. What I like more about this holster is it pushes in right here, so the gun isn't tempted to push out this way when you're wearing it, and it also will hold this in for better concealment. So I like this one better. Both of these holsters are more for like stripped down, go into the office.
You don't go to the office like this?
I should.
Your office?
I should, to intimidate my subordinates.
I've seen you in the office like this. I've seen it.
If I'm out with family or going anywhere where I think this is a little bit more dangerous place, so any other place than just office days, I'll have a bigger setup. Both of these guns we're showing you are the War Poet CR920. This is with the comp, so it's the War Poet CR920P. Love this gun. It's all I ever carry now. And that compensator here on the end keeps that muzzle down when I shoot it. So really, when I'm shooting, it feels like a bigger size MR920 or a Glock 19. It is really amazing. I can fight with this, even though it's a subcompact gun. Paul, any more alibis? We talked about war belts and all kinds of stuff.
Man, I think we've covered it.
I think we did. We crushed it.
Did it.
Guys, this will cover battle belt setups. I wanted to let you know, though, that Warrior Poet Society, it's about a lot more than just guns. We're about matters of family and faith and freedom, and every single week on the John Lovell Show over on the Watch WPSN app. That's watchwpsn.com. All of our training classes, all of our shows, and the John Lovell Show, we're going deep into the weeds about the things that matter most. We're downloading current events and applying them to Warrior Poet ethos. And so we encourage you to check it out, watchwpsn.com. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel and toggle notifications to all, like, comment, share, all that stuff. Train hard, train smart, stay free.